Hey guys, welcome back to another speed build, and this one's a little bit different because we are going to try a challenge, most specifically the 10K starter challenge, starter home challenge, that's what it's called. But yeah, basically this challenge is you got to build a house for under 10K, and guess what? Aiden fails it because at the end I find out it's actually 10.3, which I'm not entirely sure where that extra like $300 came from because I did start with only $10,000 and a completely empty lot. But somehow I had an extra $3. I mean $300, and when I got to the end, I was like, I'm not about to go through and try to like figure this out. And I kind of start in an interesting way because I was gonna like I'm gonna make a two bedroom, hopefully gonna make a two bedroom like a kid's room and then a primary bedroom, and then I found out like I had $0 left and I was like, why? And it actually was because for some odd reason, like absent-mindedly, when I was putting down like everything I know I needed, I put down a $3,000 stove. Like I started the build with a $3,000 stove. So you're gonna see me kind of go back and forth, like delete the like second bedroom, going like, oh my gosh, I can't fit a second bedroom in this $10,000 home. And then I delete this stove. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have way more enough money to make a second bedroom and then still have a TV and everything that I wanted. So yeah, I definitely like was a challenge. This is definitely like a challenge. And I actually changed this floor plan like completely later. So I don't know. I had a lot of fun. I definitely like. I think next time I'll go in a little bit smarter and maybe make like a little bit of a prettier home or like using cheaper objects. I already did use cheap objects, but I definitely could have used cheaper objects. But even with like going back to like the whole it being like 10.3K instead of 10,000, like even with 10 point like you're like a starter sim starts with like I think like 15 or 18K, so like it's affordable. It's technically still a starter home, even though this video is called the 10K starter challenge or whatever, and this is technically not under or even $10,000. It's 10,300, and that's okay. And yeah, I end up making like the bathroom like one of those like tiny cheap bathrooms where it's only three wide and one across, no, three across, one wide, whatever, either way. But like because if you have the Discovery University or like one of the showers that just go on the wall, you can technically walk through that, so you can make a really small bathroom. And you can see me just like being really confused. I'm like, why do I only have $17 left? Like I'm like going through like making the house smaller, like deleting things, moving things. And I was like, why is everything so tiny? And then I go to paint the outside and I don't even have enough money to paint the outside till I delete that TV. I was like, I can't even paint the outside of my house, which is like insane. And then I wanted to add cabinets. I was like, there's no way I'm going to add cabinets. And then I was like, oh, I don't have a TV. And then in a little bit, I do find out that it's because I purchased a $3,000 stove. And what does kind of suck is I think I actually, and this is why I'm also confused about having extra money, is because when I switch back into live mode, when you switch into live mode, everything like depreciates over time or like just like by being in live mode. So I switched into live mode to make sure that like the bed was playable and came back and like then deleted the stove. And this was me. I was like, oh my gosh, what was I doing? But that means like that stove, when I sold it again, I technically lost money. I didn't gain money from it. Like I lost a little bit of money. So I really don't know where the extra $300 came from. And I even like I only like for all the like vegetation and stuff on the outside, which I make it very lush to try to make the house look a little better because the house is kind of ugly. But on all I use like a bunch of like debug on the outside, and I don't know. I just don't know where that money came from. And here is me re-adding that second bedroom because I wanted to do a two bed, one bath. So I do add a like kids room. There's not really anything in there but the bed, and I think I maybe add like a toy or something. I don't remember. A desk? Do I add a desk? I don't know. What do I add? Oh, I add an easel. So it's not really like a goods kid bedroom, but there is an easel. So you get some use out of it. And also, I don't know what it is about having like when you do like one of those things and when it's a smaller room and it's like a jut out. I don't know why I don't like the look of having like three windows, like one window on each side. It just like looks odd to me. I don't know. It's because like there's no wall for privacy and like your bed is always going to be against a wall that has a window. But there's just like something about it. But I do it anyway in this one and it works out. Also, I talk way too fast in my videos. I like get excited and I just like keep talking and then I forget to breathe and I have to stop filming for a second. Now I only have like what, like $900 left, and this was me trying to, not 900. I have like $4, like $9 left. And to me, this is me just like trying to find some like stuff I can put on the wall. So I go into debug, I go into like hidden objects, and just like start placing like random objects on the wall to just try to make it look a little bit more decorated. I really want to try this challenge again. Maybe with like 15K. And also I don't even think I've ever like actually built like a proper starter. So like one of those like $20,000 ones. I really should go back and build a starter. I have like a list of YouTube video ideas I want to try, and that's one of them. Or even like a tiny house, because I don't think I've ever really built a tiny house. So please let me know if there is any, if you guys have any like video ideas or like build ideas or even like gameplay challenges, whatever. I just like need some more ideas of stuff I could do in The Sims. I definitely do think that like painting the outside does save it a little bit, that like tanner color with the darker brick. And look, I do scrounge enough money, don't know how, but to put I put some curtains in that room because that is a big window going into a bedroom from like the very front of the house. So I was like, I have to put a curtain there to feel normal. And then yeah, the vegetation's like pretty boring. I tried using all base game for like the landscaping just because this is in, I think it's in, I want to say it's in Willow Creek. I'm pretty sure this is in Willow Creek. Yeah, it is in Willow Creek. It's on one of the starter lots. And then I do get a little bit extra money by deleting that little like the tiles because those cost money, and then I just replace it with terrain paint. So I do end up with like $63 at the end. And actually, I do think I buy something with that $63. We'll see. And I definitely think lately I've been having an issue with using over vegetation, just like way too much, just way too many plants. I think it looks very overgrown and lush, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. But I do think I need to learn how to hold back on like how much plants I add, because I think it can't be too much at the end of the day and look like it's an overgrown garden. But also I personally think it's kind of hard to make like good looking gardens that aren't like overgrown in The Sims. I think it's just because everything's so flat, and like maybe I should try to like use the landscaping tools, sculpting tools at some point. Maybe someday I'll learn those, but right now it's not that time. But basically, like what I was saying, like it's hard to make good looking gardens that aren't overgrown. It's hard to make gardens look like prim and proper. Is that how I say? I don't know anymore. I'm just tired and I need to stop like filming things after work when I work for like 9 or 10 hours. I just get exhausted, and when I do these voiceovers, I just talk about random stuff and don't even talk about the build, and I just ramble. And yeah, that's it. But yeah, we're kind of getting near to the end of this build. I do go back into debug again and I add these cool fence pieces. Debug has so much, it just has like great things in there. So yeah, I add like these like fences to make it look a little fancier. I want to see if there was anything I could put on the walls of like on the wall outside walls to just like make it a little bit more interesting. But honestly, from this angle, this looks pretty good. But yeah, we're getting to the end of the video. And I'll add a screenshot of the outside because I don't know if it's necessary to go in first person mode for this one. But yeah, I had a good time. I hope you guys did too. And I will see you guys in the next one.